Imagine this. You pop open a cold glass bottle of Coca-Cola. That crisp hiss, the sparkle of bubbles, the first sip, sweet but not cloying. Clean, fresh, familiar, like a time machine in liquid form. That taste is making a comeback. After decades of relying on high-fructose corn syrup, Coca-Cola has officially announced that it's bringing real cane sugar back into its flagship drink. For now, this reformulated version will only appear in select U.S. markets, but the announcement has already sparked a storm of reactions, from nostalgic excitement to cautious skepticism. Why now? The answer goes far beyond marketing. It's a story that stretches across economics, politics, public health, and a longing for the real taste people remember from their childhood. Before the 1980s, Coca-Cola in the United States was made with pure cane sugar. But when U.S. tariffs on imported sugar skyrocketed, manufacturers, including Coke, looked for a cheaper and more stable sweetener. That's when high-fructose corn syrup, HFCS, entered the scene. It was cost-effective, easy to store, and, on paper, just as sweet. But taste buds noticed the change. Many longtime fans felt that Coke had become slightly heavier, with a sticky aftertaste that wasn't there before. Then came the health debates. Research began linking HFCS to obesity, fatty liver disease, and insulin resistance. Soon, high-fructose corn syrup became more than a sweetener. It became a symbol of industrial food, of what people started calling the fake era of modern eating. If you've ever tasted Mexican Coca-Cola, you probably get the hype. It's often called the real one, the original. The secret? It's still made with cane sugar. For years, Americans have gone out of their way to find imported Mexican Coke, buying it at specialty stores or hauling cases across the border. Blind taste tests show subtle differences, but emotionally, it feels miles apart. That cultural myth became part of Coca-Cola's legend. It's like vinyl records. Maybe they don't sound objectively better than digital music, but they feel more authentic. Coca-Cola knew this emotional undercurrent never really disappeared. But the recent decision to bring sugar back isn't just about taste or nostalgia. In July, President Donald Trump publicly called on Coca-Cola to ditch the cheap syrup and return to real sugar, calling HFCS a symbol of how we lost our way with food. Shortly after, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., the Secretary of Social Services, joined the debate, blaming widespread corn syrup use for contributing to America's growing health crisis. Weeks later, Coca-Cola confirmed it was moving forward. The new sugar-based version would roll out in 12-ounce glass bottles this fall, starting in selected southern and western states, regions known for their love of Mexican Coke. The return of the glass bottle is no coincidence. It's a deliberate callback to tradition, the sensory experience of holding a cool, heavy bottle, watching the bubbles rise, hearing that nostalgic fizz. This is more than a recipe change. It's a ritual revival. The glass, the retro label, the slightly tweaked carbonation, all carefully designed to trigger a single emotion: authenticity. Marketers call it emotional rebranding. In a world oversaturated with light, zero, and max products, people are craving something simple, recognizable, and real. Coca-Cola isn't just selling a drink, it's selling a feeling. Here's where the story gets tricky. Nutrition experts warn that the switch may not make much difference. According to David M. Klurfeld, a professor of applied medical sciences at Indiana University, cane or beet sugar is virtually identical to high-fructose corn syrup in its composition and metabolic effects. In other words, your body can't really tell the difference. Yes, cane sugar might taste cleaner or less artificial, but metabolically, it's still sugar. Yet perception is powerful. To the human mind, made with sugar sounds wholesome, nostalgic, even trustworthy, and that perception alone changes how we experience it. Modern consumers don't just buy products, they buy stories. And few stories are more potent than the promise of real. When someone picks up a bottle labeled "made with cane sugar," they feel as though they're reclaiming something lost. It's not about calories, it's about comfort. It's about trusting that what's inside is simple, honest, human. Cane sugar becomes a metaphor, a stand-in for authenticity in a world that feels over-processed and over-engineered. That's why this move resonates far beyond taste. It taps into an emotional hunger that has little to do with sweetness. From a business standpoint, this shift is anything but trivial. Cane sugar costs more to produce and transport than corn syrup, so Coca-Cola's production costs will rise. But the company is betting on a simple truth: people are willing to pay more for what feels real. Analysts estimate that the new sugar-based Coke will cost consumers about 15 to 20% more than the regular version. That's fine, because this isn't meant to replace classic Coke. It's meant to sit beside it as a premium product, a nostalgic upgrade for those who crave the original experience. It's a clever business move that lets Coca-Cola charge more while reinforcing its image as both timeless and responsive. Coca-Cola's experiment could set off a broader shift. If sales go well, other soda brands, Pepsi, Dr. Pepper, even smaller craft producers might follow suit, reintroducing sugar-based versions of their classics. The industry could be entering an era of what some analysts call retro ingredients, a marketing strategy that celebrates the return of the real thing. From soft drinks to chocolate bars, brands are learning that authentic is the new innovative. At first glance, Coca-Cola's return to sugar looks like a step backward, but maybe it's actually a step forward. In a world obsessed with speed, automation, and synthetic everything, going back to simple ingredients feels like rebellion. Coca-Cola isn't just changing its recipe, it's changing the mood. And even if, scientifically, it's just another form of sugar, emotionally, it's a way of saying we still remember how things used to taste. When the first glass bottles of sugar-based Coca-Cola hit U.S. shelves this fall, most buyers won't be thinking about tariffs, supply chains, or glucose metabolism. They'll open the cap, hear that familiar fizz, and for a moment, just a moment, it'll feel like time has turned back. Maybe that's the real genius behind Coca-Cola's longevity. It's not just about selling a drink. It's about selling the feeling that everything, even for a second, is just like it used to be.
Subscribe to Business Obituaries. We're cooking up new stories of epic failures for you. Your like helps this channel grow.